Installation stretch tent, 10 by 15 meters with corners down setup. We use the following components: stretch tent, protection sheet, 16 anchors, 2 center poles, 6 poles of 3 meters, 4 poles of 2.5 meters, 10 carabiners for poles, sledgehammer, 2 pole caps, 24 rope ratchets, 10 V-ropes, 24 guy ropes, 2 builders. Start by inspecting the location. Check whether there are any well covers, drainage or pipes. If in doubt, request a soil or ground survey. In addition, look for a flat surface to build on. Continue unfolding the protection sheet. The protection sheet prevents the stretch tent from getting dirty. Place the tent bag with canvas on the protection sheet. Take off your shoes before walking on the sheet. This prevents dirt on the protection sheet. Remove the stretch tent from the bag. Unfold the stretch tent and make sure that the stretch tent is lying flat. We are now going to connect the poles to the stretch tent. Make sure all poles have a carabiner. Place the poles around the tent. Make sure that the position of the poles are divided on the sides of the stretch tent, not more than 5 meters apart. Distance between poles. Best is that the distance between poles is divided proportionately. Attach the pole to a loop with the carabiner. When all poles are attached to the stretch tent, place the anchors, V-ropes, guy ropes and rope ratchets all around the stretch tent. Place 1 anchor, 1 guy rope, 1 V-rope and 2 rope ratchets with the poles, and 2 anchors, 2 guy ropes and 2 rope ratchets on the corners. So pay attention, no V-rope on the corner. The next step is to install the anchors. The position of the anchors is straight in front of the poles and at least 2 meters from the side of the stretch tent, or 2 times a meter anchor. Press the anchor spike into the ground slightly at an angle. Now the real work begins. Get a sledgehammer. Make sure the anchor is at an angle of 75 to 80 degrees and hit the anchors into the ground. Make sure the top of the anchor is not more than 10 centimeters above the ground. 2 anchors are placed on the corners. Here too we place the anchors at least 2 meters from the side, in line with the stretch tent, and then about 75 centimeters inwards. Tie the rope ratchets around the anchors. The anchors on the corner have 1 rope ratchet per anchor, and the anchor of the poles 2 rope ratchets per anchor. Now the guy ropes of the poles can be attached. Attach the V-rope first and then the guy rope. The V-rope has 2 carabiners that must be attached to the loop on the left and right of the pole. For a small V, attach the rope to the first loop next to the post on either side. For a large V, skip 1 loop, or on the second loop next to the post on either side. Run the end of the V-rope through the rope ratchet. Now attach the guy rope to the post by connecting the carabiner of the rope to the eye of the pole. Attention! The guy rope runs over the V-rope. Run the end of the guy rope through the rope ratchet. Attach 2 guy ropes to the corner. The guy rope has 2 carabiners. Attach the second carabiner halfway up the rope to the ring on the corner. Pass the end of the rope through the rope ratchet and tighten the rope completely. Make sure that all guy ropes are pulled tight at the corners, so that the canvas lies flat and stays in place when the poles are going up. We are now going to walk up the poles. Start in the corner of the first pole. Take the tension of the guy ropes on the corner and let the rope slacken so you have room to walk up the pole. When the pole is up, pull the tension rope slightly under tension. Repeat until all poles are up and in position. Carefully pull the protection sheet out from under the tent and fold up the protection sheet. Before we place the center poles in the stretch tent, let the guy ropes at the corners loosen a little more to create space in the stretch tent. Be careful, not too much. Place the pole cap on the center pole and walk the center pole under the stretch tent. Find the correct position of the center pole and walk the pole upright. Ensure a nice even position of both center poles. When both center poles are placed, the guy ropes can be tightened. Pass the end of the rope through the carabiner in the middle of the rope and pull the rope for 80%. Repeat this until all guy ropes are tensioned. Make sure that all poles are slightly slanted outwards. Then pull all guy ropes to the maximum with 2 men, until you can pull no further. Make sure that the poles are not slanted more than 80 degrees outwards. Now pull all the V-ropes, preferably with 2 men, so that the V-ropes are pulled at maximum tension. Tie off all ropes neatly and ensure a tight end result.